So we have a multi-level question to look at now. You are planning a 3-level multi-level dive. The 3 levels are 110 feet, 70 feet, and 30 feet. You want to spend as long as RDP rules allow at each level. How long will you be underwater, including safety stop time if required? So I'm going to draw out my multi-level diagram, which I taught you in tutorial video 5. On this diagram, we put the depth and the time of the first level. And then as we ascend from that first level, we would be in a given pressure group. We can then enter in the depth and time of the second level and the pressure group, and the depth and time of the third level and pressure group. Subtle difference here is based on this part of the question, including safety stop time if required. I'm going to add an annotation on the side of the diagram here to remind me to add in the 3-minute safety stop if it's required. So now we can go to the question and take the depths of the 3 different levels. 110 foot is our deepest, 70 feet is our next deepest, and 30 feet is our shallowest level. Once we have that information entered in, we can actually get out our ERDPml. We can turn it on and turn the sound off. Now we can go into the dive planning mode. That's the mode you want to use for a multi-level question. And multi-level yes or no, of course the answer is yes. First dive, yes or no, we can assume it is the first dive. There's no mention of previous dives in the question. And it now asks us what is the depth of the first level, which we've entered in on our diagram as 110 feet. So I can put 110 and click enter. And it tells me that the maximum amount of time I could spend at 110 feet is 16 minutes. So that relates to this part of the question here. You want to spend as long as the RDP rules allow at each level. So the RDPml is telling me that the rules allow me to spend 16 minutes there. So that is how long I will spend there. I can enter the 16 in on the chart now. And now, when I click enter on the ERDPml, it will ask me for the actual bottom time in minutes, which I have now got on my chart. It's going to be 16 minutes. The reason I put the 16 in orange is, as you've probably already learned from previous videos, when I have a question that is asking me for the total amount of time, I always write the times, the minutes, in a different color, so it's quick and easy to identify them when I come to add them up at the end. So, back to what I've just entered into my ERDPml. I've just entered the 16 minutes planned bottom time at 110 feet. I can click enter, and it tells me that as I ascend from the first level, I will be in pressure group M. So I can enter the M in on my chart. Now I can click enter on the ERDPml and enter the depth of level 2 from the diagram. It is 70 feet. So when I click enter there, it tells me that at 70 feet, given the first level that I've already done, I would be able to spend a maximum time of 8 minutes. So I can enter that in on my chart. And once that is there, I can click enter on my ERDPml, and it asks me how long are you planning on spending at 70 feet. Well, we've just entered that in on our chart, 8 minutes, and it tells me that after the second level, I would be in pressure group Q. So now that we have the pressure group Q written in, we can click enter, and it asks me for the depth of level 3, which is, according to my diagram, 30 feet. The multi-level limit is 98 minutes at 30 feet. Obviously, I'd probably need to be at least side mount diving to have enough air to do this dive. If you want to learn more about that, www.roatantechteam.com. So I'm going to enter the 98 minutes in as my time for the third level, and I'm going to click enter on my ERDPml and put 98 minutes as my planned time and click enter. At this point, it's going to say, right, you need to do a safety stop on this dive. Fairly unsurprising. The fact that we had 110 feet as our max depth instantly tells us that a safety stop is going to be required. So I can enter the 3 minutes in for the safety stop, and I pretty much have all the information that I need to answer this question. I could just see that I'm in pressure group Z at the end of the dive, but it's not actually very important information. So I now have the times that I can spend at each level, the maximum times allowable by the ERDPml, and the fact that I have to do a safety stop. So at this point, what I would need to do is get out my calculator. So let me bring up the calculator here, and we can add all these numbers up. So the first number is going to be the time at the first depth, 16. Then we are doing 8 at the second. Then we are doing 98 at the third. And then we need to remember the 3-minute safety stop, giving us a time of 125 minutes. And that is how you would answer a multi-level question like this one.